I'm Michelle McNally.
I'm Kayla McNally.
She is my oldest daughter. She's 21 and she's unaffected, so she's not vaccine damaged. I have two other daughters, 19 and 18, and their names are Kelly. This is Kelly. She is the 19-year-old.
And so what happened to her?
So she had the hip, and in the hospital first day, it wasn't communicated to me that she was going to be vaccinated. I don't remember signing anything, agreeing to it, but she was. Brought her home. She seemed fine, was vaccinated 2 months, 4 months, 6 months, seemed to be developing fine, hitting all her milestones. She had words, she had a point, she was pointing, she had a few words, interactive play. And then at 10 months of age, a few different things started happening. She started walking, so she hit another milestone, which was great. But then she came down with ear infection, her first ear infection, and she stopped nursing. I was a nursing mom. So she stopped nursing, and then, the ear infection, and put her on antibiotics, took her to the pediatrician. That's what you do. And then we were going to be going in for her 12-month vaccines, and this was around 11 months, and I just noticed that something wasn't right. She was spending more time staring out the window. She wasn't letting me read to her anymore. She just didn't want to sit and be and play. And so every cell in my body at once just screamed at me, call the pediatrician, there's something wrong. So I called the pediatrician, I got a hold of him, and I said, something's wrong. And he said, I described what I just described to you, and he just blurted out the word, she might have autism. And I was stunned. I never heard of autism. He said, I'll pass you to the nurse, we'll give you a name and number to contact an agency, and you can take her in for an evaluation. And that was it. And I just kept hearing autism over and over. There was no internet back then. I couldn't Google it. I didn't know what it was. Anyway, so took her in for 12-month vaccines. She got the MMR, the chickenpox, and hip. Brought her home. Got sick. Developed ear infection. And I lost her completely. Chronic diarrhea, lost all her words, stopped responding to her name. It was like she was deaf. Staying up at night for hours on end. We lost her. She's gone completely. So we eventually got her evaluated, but it took a long time, and they wouldn't give me a diagnosis until she was 2.5. In the meantime, I joined a parent group that was doing ABA. So I found out about ABA, the agency that we took her to be evaluated. They would just come out once a week and do floor time with her. They didn't tell me about ABA. They knew about ABA. I found out later, but I found out about ABA through a parent group and started doing ABA with her right away. So anyway, that's kind of where she's at. But then 17 months later, I had Megan. Megan, similar but different, was given the Hib vaccine in the hospital, wasn't communicated, don't remember signing anything, was developing fine, having all her vaccines, fully nursed her. She had a couple of ear infections, but she was reading, singing, and talking, and had interactive play until I took her in for her 12-month vaccines. Same thing. She got the MMR, the chickenpox, and the Hib. And I say I lost her halfway. I didn't lose her completely the way we did Kelly. She still responded to her name half the time. She played half the time. But she did stop talking, and she stopped reading, and she stopped singing. And then I knew. I mean, I just knew. I knew what it was. I didn't need, I mean, I did get her evaluated to get the formal diagnosis so you can get services, but I knew. So I stopped vaccinating. Thankfully, then I stopped vaccinating her because I realized what was happening. So she was vaccinated up until 5 years, and then I stopped. And I just stopped going to the doctor. And
There's still quite a lot of vaccines you had then.
yeah, it was. We were lucky. We were very, very lucky, I know. Yeah.
So how old are all your girls now?
So she's 21. Kelly is 19, almost 20. She'll be 20 next month. And she is 18. But I want to fast forward just a little bit. A year later, we moved to San Diego, and I got my down doctor in 12 months' time. Found a down doctor. Said you must do gluten-free, casein-free if you're going to be a patient of ours. Because I had tried gluten-free diet, and it wasn't helping with the abating of the diarrhea. I wasn't getting that wow that other parents get. Oh, the diarrhea stopped and my child started talking, and I didn't get that. So it was like a lot of work and nothing positive was happening. But then anyway, we went to San Diego, and she was still having diarrhea, not fully potty training, and the Dan doctor said, you have to do gluten-free, casein-free, you have to. And I'm glad I did, because we did that and put her on did a slew of testing and got her on supplements, and the diarrhea stopped, and she potty trained and was feeling better, and things did get better. Shortly after that, went to my first DAN conference, met Dr. Kriegsman. Thank goodness. Went to New York, got them both scoped, and they both were diagnosed with ulcerative colitis. So I got that diagnosis. Shortly after that, took all of them to UC Irvine. I don't know if you're familiar with Dr. Gupta, who does IVIG. He tested all of their blood, and for her, so now would have been 6, and she would have been 5. And I'll never forget this. He got Kelly's blood work back, and he said, your daughter has the immune system of an AIDS patient. And I'll never forget that. So then we proceeded to do IVIG for 12 months. And she got healthier. But anyway, that's what happened.
So what's your message to young parents?
Honestly, don't vaccinate.
I'm not going to when I have kids.
No, it's not worth it, and there's no safe vaccines, and if I had known what was the ingredients of all those vaccines, I wouldn't have pumped all those chemicals into my kids. It's the biggest mistake ever.